take this opportunity to introduce the organizing committee. I am Kaveen, Executive Vice President of JCI India and moderator of this program. And I would also like to introduce JC Hamiz, Executive Vice President of Sri Lanka, and he'll be the co-moderator of today's program. And my friends from Turkey, JC Fatih, Tahin, and Aisha, and friend from India, Zone President of Zone 17, JC Madhivanan, and friends from Sri Lanka, Yashwin, Manas, and yet another friend from India, Santosh. Friends, please wave your hands. Friends, this is the organizing committee, and it's a big hi from the organizing committee to all the participants out here. So now the meeting is officially called to order. JC Creed and Mission. I invite JC Yashwin from Sri Lanka to recite the JC Creed and Mission Statement. Please unmute yourself and recite the Creed.
Let me recite the JCI Creed for y'all. So let's all rise up if possible and repeat after me. So we believe that religion gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, that Earth's great treasure lies in human personality, that service to humanity is the best work of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashwin. And friends, as a moderator, it is my duty to welcome you all. Respected National President of Sri Lanka, Dilan Jaitalake, and National President of India, who's here to join, JC Anish Matthew. Speaker from Turkey, JC Dr. Kubra Ultas. Speaker from India, Dr. Loganathan, and Speaker from Sri Lanka, Mr. Jeffrey Zulfa. Members and friends from JC Turkey, JC Sri Lanka, and JC India, warm welcome to one and all present here on behalf of the conference organizing committee. Friends, COVID has given us lots of challenges in life, but at the same time, it has given us lots of opportunities as well. One such opportunity is to connect digitally with the friends throughout the world. So this meeting is an example for that. We are sitting here connected from various countries across the world. And today's program, Business Opportunities in India, Sri Lanka, and Turkey, you will get to know about the opportunities through the eminent speakers. They are here to explain about the business opportunities. So keep your mic in mute. And after every speaker's presentation, you will have 10 minutes for question and answer session. And Q&A will be handled by EVP Hamiz from Sri Lanka, co-moderator of today's program. And viewers, please post your questions in the chat box. Ask the questions to the speaker. And due to time constraint, only few can be entertained. A few questions can be entertained. And at the end of the program, we have a very exciting announcement to make. So please stay tuned till the end of the program. And let us move on to the next agenda. Now I invite my friend from Turkey, Fatih, to give his welcome address and also to introduce the speaker from Turkey. Over to Fatih.
Kavin, thank you very much for your kind welcome. Yes, I am Fatih Katipoğlu from Turkey. I am Vice President of JCI Turkey. And I'm also an entrepreneur and doing international business. So I am extra excited for this event. And you all know that the world is changing and there is no borders for international trade nowadays. And the most important power is network for a success. And we are here today that JCI gave us this opportunity to break borders again. with powerful international network with more than 100 countries and 200,000 members from all over the world. So first of all, I want to thank to Mr. Kavin and Hames that they gave us this. We start with a discussion that how can we make an event between JCI India, JCI Sri Lanka, and JCI Turkey with Shahin and Bashak. And finally, we built this event. And now, so I'm so happy to operating this event. And today we are here to discover business opportunities of three countries from expert speakers. We will listen presentations. JCI members from three countries and also from other countries are here also. Now I'm seeing that 118 members, people joined this event. So this will give us a great opportunity to make business connections and engagements, international network with JCI members. I'm thankful to everybody. And today, Turkish Exporters Assembly is an umbrella organization of Turkish export. And I'm so happy that today Dr. Kübra Ulutaş is with us. She is Strategy, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Manager of Turkish Export Assembly. And I'm sure that participants are lucky that they will discover business opportunities for Turkey from best person. I wish this event will be great for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatih.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so before we move on to the next agenda, I request Zone President Madhivanan to post the WhatsApp group link in the chat box so that it be helpful. It will be helpful for the participants to get under one WhatsApp group. And now I request Mr. Santosh to introduce the speaker from India.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is JC Santosh from JCI Road, Zone 17, JCI India. So the one who keep up steadfastness in anything and everything, they would achieve what they desire in the manner as desired. One such guy is Dr. G. Loganathan, the Managing Director of the Imperial Apparel Sourcing Incorporation, established in the year 1998 in Tirupur. Imperial Apparel is a world-renowned buying house. He is also a legal consultant in a law firm in India since 2009. The following is not a sentence, it is his educational qualifications: M.Com, ML in Business, MBA, PhD in Quality Management, besides BF Tech, that is Bachelor of Farm Technology from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore. He is also pursuing postgraduate diploma in cyber law and cyber forensic from National Law University, Bangalore. He was awarded PhD on 3rd June 2013 for a research work on manufacturing excellence model for small and medium scale enterprises presented to the International University, USA. He is the winner of International Achievers Award for Quality Excellence 2008 conferred by Shri P.R. Kindia, Union Minister for Tribal Affairs, Government of India in New Delhi on 26th June 2008. He is also the winner of World Economic Development Award for Business Excellence 2008 conferred by Srimati H.E. Lata Reddy, Ambassador of India in Thailand at Bangkok on 20th September 2008. He is winner of International Achievers Award 2016 conferred by Indian Achievers Forum at New York on 15 June 2016. Time is not enough to just read all the awards he won, so we mentioned only few. Also, he is associated with UNICEF and he is honored with Guardian of Hope for his continuous and constant contribution since 2010. Besides, he is associated with few orphanages, schools in and around the city, making possible contribution for social upliftment. I'm very proud in introducing Dr. G. Loganathan to this crowd. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you, Santosh. That was a nice introduction. And now I call upon Mr. Banas to introduce the speaker from Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Kaveen. Jeffrey Zulfer is the founder and CEO of Digital Mobility Solutions Lanka Private Limited, the company that introduced the ride-hailing technology to Sri Lanka under the name of PickMe. The company is the most successful tech-based startup in the country. Zulfer is a serial entrepreneur, counting 17 years of founding and successfully running several technology-based ventures. At the age of 17, while still schooling, he began his first server solutions business and ran it out of his own room. He then went on to develop a peer-to-peer trading platform for which he closed the initial round of funding. Subsequently, Zulfer set up a fully fledged internet agency and eventually exited successfully. Just prior to PickMe, he contributed as CTO and part of the founding management of Anything.lk, which was founded back in 2009 and was later rebranded as Wow.lk and its acquisition by Dialog. Zulfer exited Wow.lk in 2014 to give life to his new brainchild PickMe. Zulfer won the National Silver Award at the FCCISL Sri Lankan Entrepreneur of the Year 2018. Crediting his efforts in technopreneurship, he was also awarded the FCCISL Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award in April 2004 and the ICTA Young IT Professional Award in May 2006. He has also inspired many others to take up the challenging route of technopreneurship in the local ICT space. And he is also a past national president of JCI Sri Lanka. Thank you. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you. Thank you, Manas, for the introduction of the Sri Lankan speaker. And friends, now it's time to hear from our leaders, the chief guest of today's event, our respected national presidents, our motivators and leaders who are showing the way in this tough year. First, I invite the national president from Sri Lanka, JC Dilan Jayathalake, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, moderator. It is indeed a great pleasure to join this Tri-Nation webinar. Of course, very timely topic decided by the organizers, an effort put in by JCI India, Sri Lanka, and Turkey. And in this need of the hour of being experienced a lockdown, then coming back to normalcy slowly, but still the world is experiencing problematic situations as a result of the same reason that we were locked down. So it has shown us way how technology can be useful in different forms at different walks of life. So this is one such initiative. Though physically we are unable to be together as we used to as JCs, thanks to technology, we have been able to connect ourselves and continue our good work that we do in a given year. Having said that, I think the topic chosen is very important, even if not for the present situation that we're experiencing on a global context. Export, import, and investment on these trade lines are of paramount importance for the economy of the country. A time where world was talking about these things at a stretch in a more qualitative manner than in terms of a business as per se, that we had to go into face the situation of COVID-19, and now that it has taken a different turn or a different perspective altogether. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank the organizers. I know there was a lot of effort put in, different challenges, because the organizers had to connect themselves in different time zones, being residing in 3 countries at 3 different time zones, yet they made it happen. And let me say hats off to the 3 speakers, the speakers from Turkey, India, and Sri Lanka. who have decided to devote their valuable time on Sunday and talk to an enthusiastic audience and share the experience and guide the budding entrepreneurs and the youth of the world to technopreneurship, import, export, and investments on those trade lines. So with that, let me say hello to everyone who are gathered here. I'm sure many will take part as well when the time goes on. A program of over 2 hours, almost over 2.5 hours, is going to be very fruitful, I'm sure. And let me say thank you very much once again for inviting me to be a joint chief guest and being given the opportunity to talk to all of you. Thank you very much, and let's have a very fruitful webinar. All the very best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, National President. Thank you for your motivating words. Now it's time to hear from the National President of India, Anish Shi Matthew.
Hi, thank you, Moderator JC Kavin. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you, Moderator Kavin. My colleague, National President JC Dilshan from Sri Lanka, the entrepreneurs from JC Turkey, India, and Sri Lanka, and my dear participants. It's a great privilege to be attending a business opportunities. We are attending many business opportunities, but I really catch the point. One is export, import, and investment. Normally, we are only just in business seminars, we are only just covering up the scope. What is the scope only? But here you are very clearly defined it as an export, import, plus investment. This is the right need, and this is the need of our. This is the time which we need to think that we have to put our eggs in different nest to lay out in a different perspective. Nothing can be affected. There is the possibility which can be affected during this COVID. Even personally speaking, I am one of the person affected because of this COVID-19. I'm into this cosmetic industry where nothing, no gatherings, nothing is happening. So we all know people won't, especially our JCIs, the ladies won't wear any cosmetics when they are in home only. So this kind of things which many of the people are affected. I really appreciate the moderator. He's a big entrepreneur, and when the time changes, that this opportunity this pandemic situation he converted into an opportunity. He has started his own mask, and he has invented a new dimension. He's extending his horizons of the business opportunity of the mask, the face mask, which is available. So this kind of sharing of your ideas, sharing exchange of your thoughts, the possibility of investments. Now, this is that as what our COC Fatih have said, there is no borders for business. Really, what we are trying to do, we have to do business. That the 18 to 40 years of age, that what we are holding the prime age of earning, the most productive age of earning something which is betterment for our future. You should be utilize these opportunities which we have forwarded. I have really taken this opportunity to congratulate all those persons who have taken the initiative to start this JC Sri Lanka, JC Turkey, and JC India. And in India, especially, I can say Zone 70. So wish you all the very best. Thank you so much. Once again, say hi to my co-NP Dilshan and all the other officers from JC India, ZP, Madhivan, and VP and Executive Vice President, and Anshu also. All the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, National President Anish. And that was really motivating. And thank you for marketing my product as well, as agreed. So thank you to both the chief guests who are present here and who really enlightened us with their thought-provoking speech. And now, friends, it's time to listen to our speakers. Success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it. So to succeed, let's get busy. It's time to listen to our speakers. Each speaker will present for a maximum of 25 to 30 minutes. And at the end of each presentation, we'll have 10 minutes of Q&A as agreed. And so be ready with your questions. Whenever you have a question, you can post it in the chat box. I can see so many advertisements are going, messages in the chat box. So please don't do it while the Q&A is happening. So be ready with your questions at the end of the session. So first I invite the speaker from Turkey, Dr. Kubra Ultas. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, dear moderator. Hello, everybody from Turkey. I salute you on behalf of Turkish Exporters Assembly and by myself. It's a great pleasure to be such a good platform, good webinar like that. At first time, I thank Mr. Fatih Bey for inviting us as a speaker in a such good platform. Today, I will present a presentation to you to introduce Turkish Exporters Assembly, Turkey investment and trade climate, and business opportunities between Turkey, India, and Sri Lanka. I will share my presentation now. I guess you can all see my presentation. First part of my presentation is about Turkish Exporters Assembly. We are a roof organization of Turkish exporters. We have established in 1993, and we are the only roof organization of exporters, not only commodity, also services exporters. More than 90,000 and 5,000 services exporters in Turkey. I can explain the Turkish Exporters Assembly like that. If you want to make an export legally from Turkey, you have to become one of the exporter associations. We have number of 61 exporter association within Turkey, and we have 13 regional general secretariats. I will mention their regional departments. And in fact, I can say that we are a bridge between exporters and the government of Turkey as being Turkish Exporters Assembly. We are located in Istanbul. We call them Foreign Trade Complex. We had a huge building, including Turkish Exporters Assembly, exporter unions, 3 exporter unions, Turkish Exim Bank, Ministry of Trade representative, Marmara region representative, Turkey, in fact, we call them Turkey Promotion Group, Turkish Trade Center, INOVATIM, and COSGAP representative in Istanbul. Here is the regional general secretariats within Turkey. We have 3 in Istanbul, Istanbul exporter unions. Also we have in Bursa, İzmir, Ankara, Denizli, Antalya, Erzurum. We have different regional general secretariats in Turkey. And we have 26 commodity exporter sectors and 1 exporter sector in services. You can see on here, we call them agriculture, industry, and mining, also services sectors. As Turkish Exporters Assembly, we have some important flagships calling Revealed Comparative Advantage Report Series, New Generation Trade Delegations, Export Radar Program, Turkey Promotion Group, New Generation Trade Diplomacy with Turkey Logistics Centers, and increasing our exports value added. We build a institution like Innovation and Entrepreneurship Academy, and I will mention some projects within this academy. And also we have Turkish Trade Center in different regions of world. We also have Turkey Promotion Group. Also within this COVID period, we had a good company, Goodness from Turkey company. I have to mention with very briefly, thousands of boxes full of Turkish hygiene products such as sanitizer, medical masks, and traditional cologne. Went lots of representatives of commercial associations, importers, press members, and members of social media and opinion leaders. We did this action for humanitarian aid movements for a step further for strengthen Turkey's position as a reliable supplier and give a message that we produce for world health also. Within Turkish Exporters Assembly, we focus on digitalization and high value added products. So especially this year, we focus on mobilization. We made a team application, Allo Team, call hats, Anatolian Assembly gatherings, as I mentioned, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Academy, Women Council within Turkey, Common Sense meetings, and we have a special department for project and digital transformation office. I will mention some innovation and entrepreneurship activities. One of the most important events in Turkey when you say innovation is Turkey Innovation Week. We had this event between 2012 and this year, containing this year. We have hosted more than 45,000 active speakers, also with the honor participation of our president in last year. We held such panel conference and local, also international speakers from lots of countries. We held award ceremonies, Technocity, university and company exhibitions in Turkey. And this is very important gathering, important events for innovation. We have some niche innovation focused program for Turkish companies. One of them is InnoSuite. We call them innovation focused mentorship program. We have 2 periods for application to apply this program. We have more than 100 companies successfully completed the program. Also, we make some launching and quarterly knowledge meetings in Turkey. Within this program, we have a special roadmap, innovation, corporate innovation focused membership, mentorship program for Turkish companies. And we increase university and industry cooperation within this program. INOVATIM, Turkey's youngest and most innovative young platform in Turkey. We have more than 3,000 active members within this platform. Also, 150 Turkish universities, including this platform. We make some R&D projects, and these young people apply international competitions within different countries all over the world. And we have some special program for artificial intelligence, innovation and entrepreneurship trainings in Turkey. Also this year, we will apply European Enterprise Promotion Award 2020 with this training project. We are now national winner in Turkey, and we will compete in the international competition. Only in 2019, we have 9 R&D projects with INOVATIM, and we have international competitions in Germany, United Kingdom, Czech Republic, and USA. Also, we educated more than 9,000 students from high schools in Turkey with this program. We organized 32 innovation workshops and innovation trainings in different cities of Turkey. Here's some success stories for INOVATIM projects. Students became Formula Student World Class competition. They were third in this competition. Also, Ethiopia's team came first in mobile satellite competition in Kansas, held in America, Houston. And Sneaky Snakes was first place in first robotic competition in Istanbul, and 6th place in World Championship Cup. Innovalik program is Turkey's first innovation development program. We work with Improve Academy with this program. Every year, lots of Turkish companies apply this program in different regions, different cities from Turkey. We compete large and SMEs in this competition, and we choose the best 3 in 5 different dimensions, calling innovation strategy, innovation organization and culture, innovation source, like that. And we held award ceremony in Turkey Innovation Week every year with the participation of Turkey President, Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, in Istanbul. Also, we focused on Global Innovation Index. We work with Ministry of Industry and Technology to increase Turkey's position and Turkey's jump in Global Innovation Index. We work with World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, Ministry, and as Turkish Exporters Assembly, we have a special roadmap to increase Turkey's position with this index. Today, entrepreneurship is very important, as all of you know. We also work for startups in Turkey. We have team Turkish Economy Bank startup houses in 8 different regions of Turkey since 5 years. We have some strategic achievements with these startup houses in Turkey. For example, we have trained more than 5,000 university students in Turkey. We have different section, or we have different classification for entrepreneurs. We call them startup, level up, let's up, global up, when they increase their level, their export and revenue. Also, we have some special programs for techno days, startup to corporate meetings, some programs for women entrepreneurs. And also last year, we gained an promotion awards from European Enterprise Promotion Awards from European Commission last year, increasing Turkey's innovation ecosystem with this program. And with the COVID process, we increased our activities, some webinars like that. We are also member of Global Accelerator Network, GAN Network, with TeamTap Startup House. And we have some video conference series with not only with GAN, also with other topics for our entrepreneurs. Also with the COVID process, COVID pandemic, we make some introduction of our startups within Turkey that fight against COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to share some successful stories of the entrepreneurs such as Arvia and Holacon. I will share my presentation so you can easily read their business and their interested areas. Also, my second part is why to invest and trade with Turkey. You all know Turkey, our population is more than 83 million, and we have very young population, including 56 million, we can say, young population. Also, we are intersection of continents. We have a unique hub for companies and corporations, easily reachable location, strategic location between Europe, Middle East, and Asia. Also, we have time zone advantage for key markets, strategically and fiscally strong. And as OECD classification, we are 13th largest economy in the world. When we look at a glance Turkish economy, we have renewed quality proven production standards, solution-oriented and agile business culture, energy pipelines from Western Asia and Europe. We have skilled workforce for cost advantage, world-class banking services, and lucrative incentives in a liberal investment climate. Also, enhanced business trip with an extraordinary touristic and cultural leisures and attractives. Trade and export dynamics of Turkey, when we look at the numbers, we have robust economy, domestic market, and custom union with European Union. We have strategic location, favorable demographics, skilled workforce, continuous reform process, business friendly, R&D ecosystem, and lots of opportunities for investors and traders. We have, as Turkish economy tripled over past 16 years and promising more growth in the future, including COVID process. And we have entrepreneurial private sector climate for entrepreneurs and business people. The convenient location has enabled Turkey to tap a significant export opportunities with increasing diversified market and products. As you can see, we have 170 billion US dollar exports as Turkey, and we have annual growth rate is more than world average in 2019. Also, why you have to trade and invest in Turkey? When we look at numbers and ecosystem, we have trustful connections with different countries, more than 230 different countries we are trading with, and we are waiting for new customers in worldwide. Turkish products such is known as durable and profitable over the global markets, and different countries where trading shows that how Turkish market is trustable now and in the future. We have diversity of 61 sectors worldwide. We present variety products for different sectors and with our best quality and condition for all over the world. And we give some supply chain advantages for producers, and different markets researchers may interested in different type of raw materials in Turkey. We are power of exporters in Turkey. Our mercantiles are really skilled. Most of our merchants are doing their family businesses, and their experience come from 100 years. So they are very experienced. And by the way, our product quality depends on our merchants' successfully family history. And we say that would you like to supply lots of products from Turkey, because we give such rich product variety for countries, and we say Turkey a country of product wealth. If you demand to import different products, you can take them in Turkey easily. And we have huge companies give us best quality products in Turkish markets. And visitors always have another choice for the same product demands from Turkey. We have miracle advantage of the East and West. Our geographic location gives us a great potential to trade with various countries all over the world. The experience of the East and West history gives us different skills about producing and farming. The great story is written in this land, in Turkey. All the products that we produce have great stories on its backgrounds. My presentation is bilateral trade and cooperation between our countries, especially Turkey, India, and Sri Lanka. Because of COVID pandemic, we started to make our trade missions virtually. One of them was with India. India virtual trade delegation we had in June, with the participation of Turkish exporters and more than 70 company representatives from India. We made B2B meetings. Within the program, we have some special training programs, B2B meetings and video conferences with business people. So this was very fruitful and effective for us. We focus on some special sectors with these meetings. For example, for India, the sectors was agriculture, FMCG, agricultural machinery, cold storage depots, and air conditioning. Buyers and traders had with these meetings. When we look at the numbers, bilateral trade with Turkey and India, export from Turkey and import from India, we give trade deficit with India. We can see from numbers. Our main export products is gold, marble, oil seeds and metal ores, and main imported products is petroleum oils, synthetic filament yarns, and vehicle parts. These are also with product section from trade map data. Turkey's import to India, India's import from world, and Turkey's export to world. You can look at numbers after the presentation if you're interested in within the sectoral classification. Also, bilateral trade with Turkey and Sri Lanka. Also, we give trade deficits in 2019. Our main export products is iron and steel, textile fibers and products, electrical machinery and devices. And main important products is clothing and accessories, coffee, tea. Also, more numbers, sectoral numbers with our exports, Sri Lanka's import and Turkey's exports. You can see more detail here. Also, I'd like to share our contact details. If you have more questions from Turkish Exporters Assembly, exporter unions, you can all the time call us, email us. Also, you can follow our updates on our social media. From Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or other channels. Many thanks for giving us the opportunity to introduce our Exporters Assembly and Turkish economy and business and trade opportunities with countries. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am Kubra. Participants, if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat box so that I can convey the questions to the question which was posted by the question was how is the scope of being am I audible?
We could not hear clearly your voice.
Yes. The question was how is the scope for PPE products and COVID preventive products in Turkey?
I think internet connection is not stable. I could not hear your question clearly.
Hamis, I think you should switch off your video so that connectivity will be better. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, am I audible now?
A bit better.
Yes. Okay. So the question was, is the scope for PPE products and COVID preventive products in Turkey?
For personal protection products, as I understand, there is a huge potential for personal protection products for Turkish producers, including textile, chemical products, sanitizer products. There were a huge demand from different countries for Turkish products. We accelerated the producing these products, and also to increase our international cooperation. As I mentioned on my presentation, we give some special gifts for sanitizer to different countries. Also, I can say that this process is accelerated. Turkish textile, chemical products to other countries.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I hope that was clear enough to Siva Prakash, who has answered the question. The next question I have is, can the exporters assembly help us in checking the credibility of an importer in Turkey?
Can I take a question one more time?
Yes, ma'am.
Hamis, your voice is breaking. So I will
help us in.
Hamis, your voice is breaking. So please check your connectivity. In meantime, I will be helping out with the questions.
Okay.
Madam, I'll read out the questions. This question is from Mr. Sampath, and he has asked, can exporters assembly help us in checking the credibility of importers in Turkey?
I can say that we cannot directly check this process, but perhaps Turkish Exim Bank can take this process for importers, I guess. But if they have specific question for companies, they can directly write us or send us email to tim@timor.tr email address, and we will ask to exporter unions if there is a credibility system for the companies. But I guess we are not directly credibility position to make a guarantee for companies.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
And there's another question from Mr. Shankar. He has asked, is there a market for eco-friendly eco-friendly papers?
I think there is a potential for this market because with the update of custom union process within Turkey, we are more focusing on eco-friendly production in Turkey. So also there is a trend to make an eco-friendly production within all of the countries. So this will be hot topic, hot trends also in Turkey. So there is a cooperation possibility with this sector, I guess.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another question from Mr. Santosh, and he has asked whether is there any demand for handloom products, silk products in Turkey? Is there a market for handloom silk products in Turkey?
Mm-hmm. I think there must be a demand, but we have to check the numbers from global trade map. Also, for specific question from exporter unions, is there a demand or spatial demand for handloom silk products in Turkey? For example, for this question, we can ask to Istanbul textile exporter unions if they want to specifically make a cooperation in Istanbul companies or other companies. For example, in textile sector, we have exporter union in Izmir and also in Istanbul, also in Gaziantep, in different regions of Turkey. So if they want to sell some specific region, or if they want to make a cooperation with some specific producers in Turkey in different regions, we can send their contact details to this this person, Mr. Sumangali, if they are interested in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this question is from Mr. Shiva Prakash, and he has asked whether Turkey is importing PPE kit and COVID preventive products, or is it is Turkey manufacturing it by itself?
I cannot say 100% we are producing ourselves. I don't know the ratio, but most of them we are producing. But some of the products we produce in other countries, I guess, including India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. So we have to look at specific product classification that we all produce ourselves, or we produce in other countries.
Okay. And this question is from Mr. Karthik, and I mean, he wants details of salt and banana importers in Turkey. Where do he get those?
I can say that there is no importer association in Turkey. I can explain the organization chart like that. We work as an export promotion organization. We can say that trade promotion organization, TPOs, you all know. We work like that. And we directly work with Ministry of Trade in Turkey. So there is no specific importer association in Turkey. There is a specific association for exporters. But if you want to take more information about importers, we have to contact with Ministry of Trade within Turkey. We can ask them and take their reply for this question.
Okay. I'm getting so many questions, and this question is from Mr. Raja. Is there any what is that? Scope for IT products? Scope for IT products in Turkey is like servers, networking products, and firewall.
Which products? I could not understand clearly.
information technology related products like servers, networking products, firewall.
There is a specific services exporter union in Turkey. We have not only commodity services, also services sector and specific exporter union for services sector. Within exporter union, services exporter union, there is lots of classification for services, including IT services, telecommunication services, and IT products. So there is a, I guess, huge demand for this sector, also considering entrepreneurs working on these sectors. I think there is a huge potential for these sectors. You can directly contact with our services sector exporter union to make more cooperation with Turkish companies and Turkish producers.
All right. And I'm going to have 3 more questions. Is there any demand for coated technical textiles like artistic canvas and banana fabric in Turkey? He's asking related to the textile market. How's the textile port in Turkey?
As I mentioned, textile exporters are very important for us. We have 3 different exporter union for textile. There is a very huge potential for also Turkish textile. They are contact with other countries, increasing cooperation with trade of textile. We are making B2B gatherings, trade fairs, and other important events to increase trade between textile exporters and importers. So if you give some possible cooperation area with Turkish textile exporters, we can send their contact details that you can directly contact with them.
Okay. And I have the next question from Mr. Harsh. He has asked if there is any demand for organic products like turmeric, ginger, etc.
I think, again, for the sectors, there must be a demand, also including and considering eco-friendly production and organic production, especially for updating EU process and Brexit process for Turkey. I think there will be more demand for organic and eco-friendly production. Also, we have farming sectors and including ginger or other sectors. We have specific exporter union in Istanbul. So again, I can say that we can ask our exporter union for this demand.
Okay. The next question is from Mr. Karthikeyan. He has asked if there's any possibility for talent acquisition from India, human resource needs from India to Turkey, digitally, I think.
I think there must be potential for this digitalized and skilled human workforce, especially, I guess, potential for entrepreneurs. They have to more cooperate with each other for these sectors, because you have a great talent human workforce for this area. I think not only for our platform, also governmental level, we have to make an initiative to increase our bilateral trade and work human first capabilities, increase our human capabilities.
Okay. And this question is from Mr. Saravanan. He says, what about the potential of exporting agro commodities from India to Turkey?
Agriculture potential. I think there is again a potential for these sectors. If you have specific question to learn potential of their sectors within Turkey, they can send us an email. We can directly contact them with our specific exporter unions, including agriculture, including IT, including textile and other sectors. Because as I mentioned, we have 13 different secretary generals within Turkey and 61 exporter unions. So one of the exporter union is textile, one of them is farming, one of them is machinery. So there is lots of different exporter union that will directly contact with the sectors.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the next question is from Madheshwaran. We have 5 minutes, so I think we can take few more questions.
Mm-hmm.
This question is from Mr. Madheshwaran. He says he is the manufacturer of textile weaving preparatory chemicals, and he has asked if there's any requirements for that product in Turkey. Textile weaving preparatory chemicals.
Mm-hmm. I think there must be demand, but I will repeat again the same thing. For demand potential, we have to check from the ministry numbers. I can give exporter information, but I don't know clear numbers about the demand potential of the sectors.
So how do they get to know those details?
We can give the Ministry of Trade details, and I can say that they can check the demand potential and trade potential with the trade map database. Within this database, they can look at the trade volume if Turkey imports from the other countries. For example, if we import from European countries, but you have potential, perhaps there is a cooperation between the countries, and we can demand potential from your country, from India, for example. So we have to look at the volume, our import volume, and then we can check them, contact details from the Ministry of Trade.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this question is from Bolivia. What is the potential of exporting precious stones from Bolivia to Turkey?
I really don't know the numbers, specific numbers, but if they send an email to me, I can share details.
Okay, fine. So all those people, those who have posted their questions, since we're running out of time, you can post all those questions. You can write an email to our speaker.
Okay.
She'll be more than happy to reply to all those questions. And I think I'll take one more question. This is one second. Again, this is regarding a demand for a particular product, cashew and raw cashew nuts and soya beans and machined wood from African ports, from Africa to any other countries. So I think they should write a mail to you and get those.
Also, I advise. Okay. Also, I advise our B2B meetings and B2B gatherings within Turkey and other countries. When we organize these events, buyers, importers, and exporters gather in a place with these meetings. So there is more large potential for exporters, Indian or Sri Lanka exporters, for Turkish traders to sell their products. So I advise to participate some trade missions, trade delegations, and virtual events organized by Turkish Exporters Assembly and exporter unions in Turkey.
All right. So thank you so much,
Thank you so much,
Dr. Kubra, for patiently answering all the questions. And I have more than 15 questions pending, but since we're running out of time, I couldn't ask more questions to you. I request all the participants to write an email to our speaker, and we will share the email address of our speaker in the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you so much. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for answering all the questions. And
thank you so much, dear moderators.
You're welcome. You're welcome, madam. So friends, now I think it's time to listen to the next speaker. Speaker from India. I invite Dr. Loganathan. Sir, the floor is yours. Can please unmute yourself, sir.
Good evening to all. First of all, I would like to thank JCI, the president of JCI, and Mr. Kavin and Mr. Mati, who has organized a wonderful opportunity given to me to share my experience, to share my views on the business opportunities in India. So, as we all know that India has the very potential market, is looked upon by every developed countries. Mr. Kavin is audible. All super developed nations eyeing on India, and India is continuously, constantly growing since the independence. In the year 2014, the new government has formed. They started working on 3 mantras, maybe 2 mantras, I would say. That is, one is Make in India, and second one is Digital India. Of course, at this pandemic situation, the government has found another form, is self-reliance, which is going to be the foremost situation at this moment to develop this nation to the next height. I would say that the Indian population, the younger generation, is 2/3 of Indians falls between 15 to 59 years old. That is the youngest population in the world, and very potential entrepreneurship. When we talk about, okay, I being this trade for the past 25 years, traveling across the globe into the international trade business, I have come across so many views from those countries as well in our countries. I would like to share a few things that what I have found, which is very potential for Indian business, what India can do for India as well to the other countries. The first part that in the international trade, what I looked at is the GSP countries for the export business and FTA. These two things which our government is talking, these two things are really favorable to many countries and many products across the globe, from India to other countries and other countries to India. But still, in some cases, especially for the textiles, the FTA still we need to break through a lot to the other markets. At the same time, we also have the trade policies continuously evolving into the new ideas, which explores, which opens the most biggest opportunity for businesses in India. which I am going to give one by one. What are the best possible business opportunities can be done in India? First of all, we all never knew and we never expected that there's going to be the new life in this year. In the sense, so far the life was something different what we were enjoying, and all of a sudden since February, we are trying to cope up with the present situation, the pandemic, which everybody is confused what's going to be the next, how it's going to be, how we can lead the life. I mean, everybody is, confused of that state. But I look at it, I'm really excited to see the new opportunities in this COVID. I'm really excited because this has opened a huge number of business opportunities. For example, the electronics items, the medical items, medical equipments, medical machineries. This is what's going to be medicines. These are all the things is going to be the primary products that every country is going to concentrate. And India has also, already we are very potential in this. And the biggest opportunity in this particular area. Apart from that, when I said the evolving of the trade policy, step by step, based on the situation, right now, the MSMEs, the policy in MSMEs, what I look at it is the policy of MSMEs and foreign trade policies and foreign direct investments in all areas, especially on the industrial products like airlines, like automation, power generation. See, all these areas are governments are really favoring to the foreign direct investments. And the refined labor laws. For example, India is such a huge country. We have a lot of possibilities. The people are migrating into different states and working. And this pandemic has taught us that how that has to be organized. Probably after this pandemic, in fact, the government, I think, must have decided or must have thought of it to reform the labor law, especially on the migrating labors. This is one of the very key point which is going to determine the growth of India, I believe. Then the industrial policies. Industrial policy, we can say that industrial parks, SEZs, 100% EOU, and even when going for the foreign trade direct investments, most of our state governments are giving the free land, in fact, or the land with the cheaper cost, or free power, or the lower cost of the infrastructure facilities. That's been extended to the foreign direct investment to invest in India in many areas, especially in automobiles and solar panels, power, and renewable energy, all these items. Yeah. Then the sustainable and eco-production policy. Right now, of course, the whole world is talking about the global warming, sustainability, and all these things. Of course, India is also, at par with the developments of sustainable products and sustainability in every business that we are going to do it. In these circumstances, we have Make in India, we have Digital India, we have right now self-reliance. These three concepts are really penetrating into the Indian mind, which paving the way for the developments of every business, every small, even small business activities. And this is a great opportunity for areas. When I'm talking about the opportunities here in India, it's completely treasured. A lot of opportunities is treasured in our country with different possibilities. All we have to do is our Indians or the people who wants to do business in India, to import products or make products in India, that is all possible in India with a great potentiality, with great help with our policies. Then after this COVID or during this COVID, currently we have the international political situation, which we all aware of, that there is an unfavorable situation which is happening, due to which there are a lot of sanctions, a lot of curbing on imports. So we have the opportunity to develop those items, to produce, to manufacture those items within India, which is very, very huge, especially on the fast moving consumer goods. This is one of the biggest area which we can really concentrate on, even it's abundantly available. So we would request many countries, any country, to come in to join with us, to invest into it and make a production here also. And the MSME position here in India is really, as I said earlier, which is really doing good. The policy is reaching to every part of any small businesses. There are a lot of the loan facilities is given with the lowest interest rate or even tax holidays. A lot of things are happening. So this one promote, this one induce, this one helps the entrepreneur to do something else, to do some business, to make the business to become an entrepreneur, by the way, to develop the country with the more and more businesses which can make cheaper product, means cheaper in price, the quality product, but cheaper in price, like other country where we are importing a lot, like cell phones and other things. The next one is infrastructure. When we talk about the infrastructure, which India is growing, as everybody is eyeing on it, and infrastructure, the foreign direct investment is also mainly going towards the infrastructure like road, ports, and transport, surface transport, air transport, everything there. Everything is coming under this infrastructure, which is really coming up, and every government is doing their best part to enhance the facilities to connect the world in a bigger way. Then when we talk about the power sector, though we have a power facilities like hydro and atomic and all these power facilities, but still we depend on some of the product for the enhancing the powers. For example, coal, even sometimes we have to import it. Hello. Hello, Mr. Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Can I go ahead, because it's stuck somewhere?
No, you can go ahead, sir. It's all okay.
Oh, okay, fine. Then after the pandemic, medicines, medical equipments, ecological recycling, the medical equipments, medical waste in ecological manner, recycling in ecological manner is going to be the biggest business again. This is one of the best opportunity. Then automation of agricultural and export of value-added agro products.
Sir, we can hear you. If there's any network issues, you can try switching off your video and connecting.
No network issue. I thought just because you're on the phone, so whether I should continue the.
No. We are just
I
checking
can.
about the technical issues. No issues.
Fine. Okay, fine. So as far as the textile is concerned, like the Indian cotton is the best, the second biggest industry which contribute in the textile next to agricultural. And we are already very strong in cotton fabrics, but right now we would like to go for the man-made fabric, man-made fiber, processing, finishing, embellishment has a great potential business opportunities in India. Because right now, for example, we are unable to import from the other country where these things are available abundantly. So far, we were all depending on these products. Come in.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. So far, we were all depending on the other country for such products, but now we have very big potential on these areas. So even the MSMEs and the big industrial investments can be done on textile also. Then artificial intelligence based products and services. As you know, like the pandemic has created webinar, has created online education, has created everything on online sales, online e-commerce, software export, data science, data analysis, machine learning, drop shipping, which is very interesting. The drop shipping is another very important one which is happening, like what we are doing without meeting the buyer and seller, the drop shipping taking place. This is the new concept of the export-import business, or the major set of opportunities. And right now, we have a scarcity, or we are going to have the scarcity of mobile phones, computers, electronic items, office equipments, automation, then, as I said, man-made fibers and fabrics, embellishment, then ancillary product, especially for the machineries and for the automobile industries. So these areas are going to be the very biggest opportunity in India very shortly, which is immediately have to be taken care. I think our government is working on it, and the opportunity is very much open to the entrepreneur across the globe. Then I happened to read certain survey where it says that service sector will be the boom for at least next 10 years. That's a decade. The service sector plays a vital role in supply chain, as we all aware that the supply chain have from the manufacturing to the consumer. Earlier we had to depend on so many things, so many areas where the communication was very much lacking. But today, the communication is very in fraction of the second, and things are getting moved very fast. The logistics is very fast. So serving the people between two area is happening in a very systematic way and very fast. So service sector also is a biggest boom in our country to make a business here. Then, as far as the import is concerned, of course, I don't appreciate so much of import, because right now India is importing more than exports. I would like to minimize the import possibilities, but at the same time, we have the possibility. For example, the self-reliance. When we are making the self-reliance, when we are making business in self-reliance mode, so we become self-sufficient in a very short time. So once we become self-sufficient, obviously we need to do a lot of exports, and the self-reliance invites a lot of investors to join hands with us to manufacture more into more trade activities, more commodities. So this helps our business too. I wish that I think I can talk the strength and weaknesses almost covered in every area, but I prefer that to have more into the question and answers, because it's more, which helps more interactive session where the people can understand more instead of, giving you so many statistics. Rather, I wish that giving you just crisp on the strength and opportunities. Hope the product possibilities, hope the trade policies, what our government is doing, all together is bringing India to the next level in global market. I think we can go for the question and answer session. And I would like to say that India is heading to a significant position in global market. I request the world to join hands with us and to grow with us. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much for your presentation about the Indian market and the opportunities here. And as you said, when there's more interaction, more questions, I think you can answer them. And as you said, I've read it somewhere. I don't remember where, but I read that where there's a pain, there is a market. So right now there is a pain everywhere. So there is a market and there is an opportunity to do a business everywhere. So, and you also said that service sector is going to boom for the next decade, and virtual meetings are happening everywhere. Before 3-4 months, nobody was aware about Zoom, but the Zoom's value today is something phenomenal. So that is how the market is changing post-COVID. So friends, you can post your questions in the chat box, and Hamiz will try to moderate the questions. If there's a signal issue for him, then I'll take over. Madhivanan, kindly check if the participants can post the questions in the chat box, because everybody is sending it only to me privately. So please check again.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Loganathan, sir, for that informative session. So participants, so any questions you all have, please post it in the chat box, and I will try to convey the questions to Dr. Loganathan.
The question was arrived, sir, from Albert Martin David.
Yeah.
Hamiz, sir?
Yes, Loganathan, sir, there is a question from Aditya Raj. What kind of product specifically your company deal with? The Imperial Apparel. So please provide more info. Thanks.
We are dealing with apparels, high fashion apparels and textiles. We cater to the European and American markets, even some to Japan too.
Do we have more questions? Participants, you can.
Yes, there is another question from Bhuvanesh. India makes only 4% on global textile, even though we are having huge potential. As the world wanted to reduce the imports from China, will Indian textile industry is capable of capitalizing it on? The countries like Vietnam, Bangladesh is growing a lot in textiles, but not much on Indian side. Your ideas on that, sir?
Of course, yes, India can do wonders. Right now, as you know, that India is very strong in cotton, but we are vigorously working on the man-made fiber, where the Indonesia, Cambodia is stronger. In fact, they are importing fabric from China, and of course, we do import fabric from China. But right now, as you said, the present political situation, India will replace the man-made fiber area, then the opportunities of the business and employment opportunities are huge.
Okay, sir. And there is another question from Red Sari. His question is, what are the opportunities to import to the USA at this current pandemic situation?
Yeah, as usual, we are still, stronger in exporting software than agricultural products like rice, dal. Yeah, these are all the products we can export to USA. Also textiles, of course, textiles, as you know that America is already biggest player in China, import from China. And even America don't have the, even America and India have the same situation with China. So India has the big opportunity to sell and export all the products that they have, or at least 80% of the product that they were importing from China.
Okay, great, sir. And one more question. How is the frozen meat, frozen fish market to export from India?
Yeah, already India is exporting. The question is over.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, you can.
Okay. So India is already exporting a lot of seafood items to China, especially. And there are a lot of frozen meat to European countries, which is already into the business, already into the export business. We can really enhance this.
Okay, sir. And there is another question.
Yeah.
From Loganathan. Is there any opportunities for abroad education? Since you have mentioned that service industry has the most number of opportunities these days. So is there any opportunities for education abroad, like abroad educations?
In the sense that universities from abroad opening universities here in India and get the opportunity of the Indian students to study?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's already in the card of the government. I think it's already there. It's very, very soon it's happening. And even right now, it's a few universities are existing in India, I believe.
Great, sir. And any other questions? If you have any questions, we have 3 minutes for Dr. Loganathan's Q&A. Any questions, you can post it on the chat box.
Meanwhile, while the participants are posting their questions, I have a question to ask Dr. Loganathan. Sir, I know I've heard about you. I know that you are an expert in textile industry. So how do you see the market before COVID and post-COVID, and what is the difference, and what will be the new normal? People are talking about when you can never expect the business to be the same. I mean, while it used to be before COVID, and now post-COVID, we all must get used to the new normal. So what is the new normal, and how is the export market going to be for textile industry, and maybe specifically you, since you are from the textile hub Tirupur, what is happening out there? What is the future?
Yeah, textile, as you know, it's consumer product that always it's in demand everywhere. So far, the European countries and American countries is the biggest consumer of the textiles, which they mainly import from India. I mean, China, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Indonesia, even to India also. But what we were into so far was cotton product. we were into cotton products, and we were ruling the market in cotton products. We make very fantastic cotton, fantastic fashionable products, but we were lacking in man-made fibers, which we still, to be frank, we still depending on China for the man-made fiber like polyester, modal, anything man-made fibers we have to import it from China because it's cheaper. And right now, after the COVID and after this situation with China, we are forced to make these fabrics in India. We are forced to make such accessories, embellishment in India itself. But it's not going to happen immediately, but it will happen very shortly. So till then, we will have a little struggle, but I'm sure that we will not lose our identity. We will still have the businesses because India has the the Europeans and Americans or the buyers have a good reputation over Indian business, and most of them wants to work with India. They are going to other countries only because of the pricing. So if we are able to make the competitive pricing, we are sure that we still have the business level same and maybe plus in the very earliest stage. So as far as the COVID is concerned, right now, even I think since last week, the PPE and masks are allowed to export. And every factory is working on PPEs right now. And even you believe it, we have our existing customers still. They are sending the developments, they are sending the orders, and of course some of them under production. This is also happening, but not big level. Not big level. It is only a setback. It's not going to be a difficult one. It's only a setback because the pandemic has affected all over the world, even the buyer side. There also is trying to settle. They are also trying to settle because most of the goods were some of them in stores, some of the stores have not even opened. So all these things have to happen. So what I expect is probably by we have lost only one season this season, the autumn winter production is gone on, and spring summer probably will be affected a little bit, but I'm sure that next autumn winter will have a huge growth. Probably the growth level will be double, I suppose.
And sir, I have one more question. Since the reference from Turkey and Sri Lanka, what products can we import? I mean, can we export from here to Turkey and Sri Lanka? What are we already doing, and what are the opportunities for these two markets to export and as well as to import there?
Right now, Turkey, we do a lot of agri-based products are exporting to Turkey. And Sri Lanka, of course, it's there. So our free trade is with Sri Lanka is, every product, even textiles, we're shifting to fabric and getting conversion. So this is happening. Even for Turkey, we do minerals. Some minerals we do it, but not big level. Our major exports are, imports to US and from China, the more major imports. But as far as Turkey is concerned, to my knowledge, we can increase the volume of agri-based products. Value add products from agricultural, they can do that.
Okay, all right, sir. So Hamid, do we have any more questions for Dr. Loganathan?
I have one more question. The question for Dr. Loganathan is due to pandemic, more unemployment is in scenario, and our economy is now slowing down. What is your opinion and is there any recoveries?
Absolutely, it's going to be the recovery because it's only a slow down disease. We are going to recover very shortly. Because it's not going to be the same. It's not going to the pandemic. It's not going to be mine forever. This will get changed. So automatically everything will be to normal, but in a new normal, which has a lot of potential.
And sir, I think I would like to add one point to that. On a lighter note, I think 2021 is going to be a big boom for everybody comparing 2020 because this year is zero. So next year it is anyways going to be growth comparing to 2020.
Of course, yes. Of course, yes. So I thank you once again to all of you and my co-speakers too, sharing their ideas. And of course, we welcome the entrepreneurs to more business with India and grow with us. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Loganathan. Friends, if you have any specific questions, you can always contact Dr. Loganathan through, he will be sharing his mail ID in the chat box at the end of the program. If you have any specific doubts, you can write a mail to him. So thank you so much, Doctor, for throwing us, throwing light on the exporting opportunities. Thanks so much once again. And now it's time to move to the next speaker. We have Mr. Jiffy Zulfa from Sri Lanka. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. I hope you hear me well. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So let me take this opportunity to thank JCI for inviting me. It's nice to be back in this organization. I've been a member about, I think, a good 10 years ago. Was it? Yeah, I think it was about 10 years ago. Obviously, being a national president as well. Happy to be back. Happy to be talking to some of the members here. So I think my topic was to sort of talk about Sri Lanka, right? And as the other speakers have also done. I'm not going to go into details about what the country is and all that. Obviously, a country with over a 3,000-year-old history. If you haven't come to this part of the world, I think once COVID is over, you should first get a ticket and come over here. So I think we've got a nice history here, a country that is small, but a lot of things to study about, in terms of history and in terms of culture and in terms of nature. So I think more importantly, we are a nation of 21 million people. Our traditional businesses include things like tea, cinnamon, cardamom. These are some of the traditional exports that the country has been doing. And in the last 20, 30 years, we've also been one of the major exporters around the world for textiles. For most of the major brands around the world. And at the same time, one of our biggest exports also, or you should call it exports, but tourism is also very big. We attract 2 to 3 million tourists to the country, and obviously, we provide a different kind of experience when it comes to tourism, because one of the things that people talk about our country is obviously the hospitality, and obviously the ability to get from one part of the country to the other part very quickly. That being said, none of these areas are my forte. I come from a digital or tech industry, and I'm just about to tell you more about tech. I don't have, I'm not a local representation. I don't represent any of the local chambers in the country, but essentially an entrepreneur who's been in tech for the past 20, 25 years. Right. So that said, one of the other pluses of Sri Lanka is that we have about 98% literacy rate, right, which makes us fairly, the people of the country are fairly educated, and we find that a lot of talent obviously goes out of the country, but at the same time, there's a lot of investments that come into the country to build on the talent that exists. So just to give you a brief about myself, so I run a local ride-hailing company, and obviously you must have heard of companies like Uber. We are basically a company called PickMe. We are the largest ride-hailing company in the country, but also we are also in the delivery world in terms of food delivery. So the folks in India would know things like Swiggy and Zomato. So in Sri Lanka, we have Uber Eats and we have PickMe Food, right? So these are essentially the areas that that my company operates on. Today we move over 100,000 people every day, and essentially more than 10,000 deliveries are done every day of food. And the business is growing. We are obviously a funded company, just like the other folks in India. We've attracted funding from from IFC and other private venture capital companies. So as every one of us have now realized that the future of business and the future of our lives are now more dependent on digital, right? So I think digital has taken off. We've seen how sort of Corona has just leapfrogged some of the digital initiatives around the world and in our offices, right? I think when Corona started to hit Sri Lanka by mid-March, all work business, and then I think there came tools like Zoom and Hangouts and Microsoft Meet, and everyone started to use these tools to to work from home. And I think it has become the new norm, right? I think a lot of us, I think a lot of the people in the tech world will go back to office, right? I think that's for certain. For the next, at least for the next 1 year to 2 years, people are not going to go back to office. They're going to work from home, and that's how we are going to look at things, right? People are not going to go shopping too much, right? They're going to get things delivered to their homes, right? And this is how people are going to live their lives as we go along. I think it is as Mr. Loganathan has mentioned, it's a new opportunity. It's an opportunity for budding entrepreneurs to take advantage. And I am sure that most of us that are in this webinar should use this as an opportunity to leapfrog in your ambitions that you have. So just to talk you through our country, Sri Lanka, right? So today, Sri Lanka has been able to take control of the COVID situation. Today, our markets, our economy is open. We're back in our normal lives. Transport has begun. The markets are open, and we essentially have our normal life has just begun, right? And I think on the beginning of August, we are going to open our airports again to allow more of the tourists to come into the country, because this is an economy that has a dependency on tourism, and we are hoping that we take certain initiatives to ensure that tourists come to the country, but obviously in a very safe way. So I think so that's what the country has to offer. But on the tech world, I can tell you that Sri Lanka has a number of achievements that they've done. Today, some of our softwares run certain things like the stock markets around the world, right? Today, the London Stock Exchange is run by Sri Lankan softwares. We also have, the London LSE that has set up offices in Sri Lanka for their development. We also have other world-class software houses in the country, though not in the size of India, because obviously India is a much larger market. But we have built certain niches that have become fairly the strengths of our country. And obviously, for example, things like middleware softwares are developed in Sri Lanka, and I think we will see more and more newer products coming in, and obviously newer investments coming into these markets. Yeah, so I'm happy to answer any questions pertaining to the industry in the country. I'm not an expert in the other areas, so I will not be able to answer any of those questions. That being said, today we work. I must say that though we are a Sri Lankan brand, we have already started looking at other markets around the world. And I think we are making our way into certain markets in the region and as well as in Europe. So that's the interesting piece, and I'm happy to discuss further about it. But that being said, thank you so much for JCI for inviting me again. I'd like to pause here, and if any of you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Hamid, you can take over.
I joined JCI, the national president. So I'm so happy to bring you back to one of my webinars which I am moderating today. So thank you so much for accepting, and thank you so much for accepting, sir. And participants, any questions you have, just post it in the chat box, and I'll be happy to convey to Zulfa. Zulfa, sir, I have a question. What are the opportunities from JCI Turkey has with regards to tech industry?
Okay. So I don't know. I was in Turkey 4 months ago, obviously on a holiday more than anything else. But yeah, Turkey has obviously a very nice market. Obviously, obviously it's booming with tourism, and I enjoyed all my stay in Turkey, in Istanbul and some of the other cities. Loved it staying there. I think obviously there's a lot of opportunities. I did happen to meet a few people. There is opportunities in many areas, I must say, right? Obviously, I think even on areas of IoT, on AI, there's still a lot of opportunities available. Yeah.
Okay, sir. And there is another question. What is the advertising, digital advertising media that Sri Lanka is using these days?
So in Sri Lanka, we are obviously heavy on YouTube and Facebook. And I think a lot of people spend a lot of time in those tools. We have obviously the latest trend of TikTok is also taking off. Obviously, the opportunity to advertise is not yet there. But Facebook and YouTube is the main one. On Facebook, you've got opportunities in Instagram, etc. But we don't have, I should say that we don't have our ISP kind of setup here. And that's probably an opportunity for any advertising networks who would like to set up in this country.
Okay, sir. And there is another question, sir. Did the pandemic affect the external investments in Sri Lanka?
So I think, it's very early to say that. Obviously, there's still a lot of investments still happening. I can tell you investments have increased, right? That's for sure. Because I think today the world has become so, what can I say? I think everyone has sort of realized how important to have redundant solutions, right? For example, HCL from India just I think 3 weeks ago, decided that they're going to set up a development center in Colombo, right? So that is essentially building on redundant capabilities, right? So should something go wrong in India, there is always an opportunity to move operations to Sri Lanka, or the Sri Lankans can take over, right? Now there are certain software houses that operate in India and Sri Lanka, and this is the opportunity that the two countries offer, right? So you could basically lean on each other to ensure that when you serve more developed markets like in Europe or in the US, you can sort of bench up, sort of de-risk yourself by setting up your operations, because the cultures are pretty much the same. At least we understand each other in our business and in our communication. So the answer to answer your question, I think the investments have increased, and we're expecting more investments to come in because of that simple reason, right? So I can tell you, when there was floods in Chennai, the telecom infrastructure relied on Sri Lanka to provide them with India with all the call routing capabilities, right? I know for a fact Tata had an operation here that was on full swing when the Chennai floods happened. So in situations like that, Sri Lanka has become a point of backup for the operations in India, as well as around the world, right? Even Singapore companies operate here as a backup center.
Okay, and another question from Ranjit Kumar. Do you have any ERP software require exporting units?
So I'm not a software house. We run a digital company. So we're into digital. We essentially offer digital solutions in areas of mobility, and that's our game. So we are essentially the equivalent of Ola and Swiggy in India, right? So that's what we are. So we don't essentially provide our software. We don't offer it like a software house. But I don't know anyone in that space, but obviously I know a lot of ERP companies. If you ping me, I'm sure I should be able to link it up. If there's anyone that offers that space.
Okay, and there is another. Do we have digital solutions for our school textbooks?
I think there's a lot of interesting solutions that are coming out. I think it's going to be very interesting, whether it should be textbooks or whether it should be teaching on the digital platform altogether, right? For example, in India, you have Baiju that is doing a fantastic job. And then you obviously have a lot of other solutions that are coming out, right? So I think it'll be interesting, right? Obviously, as more and more parents don't want to send their children to schools, you are going to see a lot of solutions that are coming out, right? I think I know, for example, my 4-year-old kid now studies through Zoom, right? It's a beautiful way of learning, and maybe probably even more effective. We never know. Let's find out, right? So I think as we understand the risks of corona and then probably any other future risks, I think people are going to look at alternative solutions. In the new world that we are going to go into.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, does Sri Lanka hire international employees after the pandemic?
So I can tell you that before the pandemic, we were hiring. We have a number of, so for example, in my company, we have about 5 international employees, 4 of them from India, another one from Philippines. We also have people working offsite, as in they're working from from their countries, and obviously working for us. So that kind of arrangements are also there. So they work remotely. Yeah, so to answer that question, yes. See, for example, today you don't need to be in the world that in the industry that I am in. We don't need employees in our country, right? We can essentially hire people from wherever they are, right? And we've built systems and solutions around that, so that people could work on our platform remotely.
Amiz, any more questions?
I think that's it. Thank you so much, Zulfa sir, for that
Thank you.
informative session. And,
And,
I'm so happy to see you after so long.
Yeah, happy to see you too.
I have a question, Mr. Zulfar. You said you are something similar to Swiggy, Zomato, and Ola, Uber, right? I am in India. Swiggy and Zomato, they've started delivering groceries and the luxury products, adding to the food delivery service which they are already doing. So how about your brand, Pick Me? Are you into that already, or are you planning to do that in
Of
future?
course, yeah. So we are. So our vision is to make sure that if we can deliver everything through our platform. Today, yes, you're right. I mean, when curfew hit us in our country, we were the solution to get essential goods to your homes, right? So in the first 1 week, first 2 weeks, we did over 500,000 deliveries in the first 2 weeks, right? So that's the capability of our platform, right? We have about 80,000 delivery vehicles registered on our platform, and we essentially can activate these kind of capabilities. So during COVID, we had what we call curfew. In other countries, they call it lockdown, right? When that happened, we essentially were the only solution that allowed that the even government recognized that allowed us to deliver essential goods to people. We also went about, here LPG gas is in cylinders. I'm sure it's the same in India as well. But even gas was delivered through our vehicles, right? So that's one other way of how we became very important. And obviously today we do groceries. Food is another channel. Groceries is another. We obviously do things like even delivering things like cigarettes and other products like that.
Fantastic. So, post-COVID, your business opportunities has grown many folds, and glad to know that. And so, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being here and answering the questions and sharing your success story. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Zulfar. It was wonderful to listen to all of our speakers today. I must say that it gave us an idea about business opportunities in Turkey, India, and Sri Lanka, and we had the opportunity to listen to the opportunities. Available in Turkey, and we also had an opportunity to know about the market in India, and also to get to know about the success story of Pick Me in Sri Lanka. And friends, action is a fundamental to all success. Action is the key word here. So the most easiest thing to do today is after this program, after we log out from this webinar, it is easy to forget and go back and do whatever we were already doing. So please don't do that. Dream and act, because action is the key. And also remember that every big business starts small. So take a cue out of today's program and do something which will be helpful for you and for the future of your country and your family. And thank you all once again. Now I request Mr. Yaswind from Sri Lanka to give the announcements regarding the next program.
Okay, there's a small connection issue, so I'll be switching off my display. So can everyone hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
Okay, so as for announcements, so the organizing team would like to request everyone to wait a few minutes for to start the session, the speed marketing session. So speed networking session. First of all, you should fill the Google Doc form and then join the WhatsApp group. Each participant will be given maximum of 2 to 3 minutes to actually present their products so that the interested parties can contact them in order to do business. That's the announcements from my side. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much, Yaswind. Yes, my dear friends, you can see in the chat box we have already circulated a Google form and WhatsApp group link. You can go ahead and fill out that Google form and also join the WhatsApp group. We from JCI Turkey, India, and Sri Lanka, we are planning for a speed networking session, which will happen very soon. We will intimate the date and the time very soon. And based on your request, which you are going to fill up through the Google form. So after that, we will plan a date and we will announce. And we are also exploring the opportunity to give a global platform for the business people in JCI to do global business. We already have a forum in India. Especially in our zone 17, which we call in India, we have 25 zones, and in zone 17 we have this program called JC in Business, JIB we call, and we already have an app, and we already have many tables out here. A group of business people, we will get together and meet every week, and we will work for each other's business. So you will get to know more about that platform JIB in the next meeting, and also get an opportunity to do the speed networking. So that is all about the announcements. And now it is time for vote of thanks. I request Shaheen from Turkey to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you. I think you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. We are the ones who will change the world. We are the ones who will make a positive change around the world. We put a step with this event, not only JCI India, not only JCI Sri Lanka and Turkey, but we had lots of friends all around the world. Since our vision says being the leader of our members and supporting them a global network around the world. This is really important, and I'm really happy to see lots of members, lots of supporters in this event. We had really great speakers. I really want to thank them. Dear Kübra Ulutaş from Turkey, Mr. Dr. Loganathan, and Mr. Zulfer. It has been a great opportunity, and doing a great event together, 3 countries coming together and bringing lots of young entrepreneurs all around the world. It's an amazing networking and sharing. We had lots of fun with CRC team. It has been maybe 1 month. We are preparing for this event. We will keep doing this. Our only mission here is to bring more positive people together and to make the world a better place. Correct me if I'm mistaken. Obata Situti in Sri Lankan, I'm trying to say. Danyavad in Indian. Teşekkürler. Thank you very much for all of you.
Thank you, Shaheen. That was wonderful. Yes, you got it right. In Indian language, it is called Dhanyavad. Yes, you are perfect. I'm not sure about Sri Lanka also. Yeah, that's great. So thank you so much for the vote of thanks, Shaheen. I request the speakers, if you can post your email ID in the chat box, it will be very helpful for the participants to ask specific doubts. And if you're not able to post the email ID, then you can message it to me personally. I'll be sending it to all the participants, those who are going to fill out the Google form. So make sure you don't miss out on filling out the Google form. So thank you so much for everybody for being patiently sitting in the Zoom room for the past 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, I should say. And thank you so much for all the speakers for spending their valuable time here. And a big thanks to all the organizing committee from friends from Sri Lanka, friends from Turkey, and my colleagues from India. I hope this program was useful to you, and see you soon in the next meeting. We'll keep you posted. Have a good day and good night. Bye-bye.